Daily Landsblog from Firehouse 132 for the 11th of November, 2019. A very significant day for many of us. And here at 132, the Chief is still here, but we're done with you, Chief. Do not say a word. What you wanted, though, is you wanted guys like these four firefighters to be able to be open and honest and candid and share what they're feeling from the job. And I want to find out for you guys whether you feel that way, whether you feel like you could be open and honest about something that a lot of people perceive as a weakness. What do you think? Could you be?
I think I could. If you had the right support network, I definitely think you could. I think it's just making sure that you have that right group of people to be around. You know, sharing with strangers might be a little bit more of a challenge, but knowing that there's something
But how about
there.
the perception that, you know, these are three of your co-workers here? What do you call them, by the way? Like your teammates, your what do you call them? See, you want to trash talk them now. And no,
That's exactly where my mind's going.
Yeah.
I can't think of a nice
But
thing
like,
that I do.
what do you colleague? What do you call other firefighters?
Brothers, sisters?
Brothers?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's go with brother, sister. How about that? So I understand what you're saying, but could you say that not to a therapist, not to the captain, or the chief, but to your brothers?
Definitely, because they know it firsthand just as well as I do. So having the ability to relate to that, I think is huge and gives you that much more of a comfortable environment to talk in.
Now, you've been doing it for how long?
30 years now. I've been
30 years. And what do you think about the idea of being able to share with the people that you work with?
I think it's changed over the 30 years. When I first got on the fire department, my very first call on the Danforth, motorcycle accident, had to pick up body parts and stuff like that. We came back to the fire hall, sat at the table, and the guy kind of seeing how you can handle it, making little jokes about it. You know, some of the jokes are pretty bad, so I won't say it. But and stuff like that. There wasn't really the support now. I find nowadays with the fire department, we become a little bit closer. We're more of with the new environment, more of a family nowadays. And the guys are not as they like to talk more. If they have issues, they might just pull a friend aside or whatever. But I find that's happening a lot more in the fire department right now. Where before it was, and you were right, Chief. Let's see how tough you are. Okay, kid.
Right.
And they want to see how tough you are, and they look at it. So.
Thank you. How long have you been doing it?
7 months, so
Okay.
about the same.
So I'm just gonna say, what the hell do you know?
Not much.
But are you aware of the fact? I'm sure you are that you're at really high risk for PTSD,
Definitely.
and that the suicide rate for firefighters is greater than it would be for broadcasters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and they throughout the training they kind of made that. They definitely made that aware, which I think came from Chief Peg, which was really important because we want to know what we're getting into. Obviously, I knew what I was getting into, but I didn't know that there would be this type of support system there for us, which is
Right.
great.
But I'm still. So here's you came from the military. I'd like you to compare how the military was in dealing with this and how much they proactively went to you and said, okay, we know that you're going to have problems mentally, like we know that it's going to happen, so we want to deal with it, and we want you to know that we can deal with it. How is it different in the Army than here in fire?
The Army's kind of the inverse of fire in the sense of you're training 90% of the time, and then when you're actually away on mission, that's where it's you're in the fire. Whereas with us, we're often responding in real life and then training very little in comparison. So it's kind of the inverse. In the Army, they kind of focus their screening on the sharp end. Like when you're just coming out of country, they'll send you to decompression. They'll get you to speak to people. With fire, it's kind of similar in the sense that after an incident where there's critical stress, they will send teams. So it's good. They're focusing on like kind of the sharp end. I think a lot of the programs from the Army have actually made their way, like Road to Mental Health Readiness, I believe, R2MR. So I've seen that in the Army and now in fire, so that's good. I think just being able to talk to people is it's great. Like me and Kais have we ran 2 VSAs, or vital signs absent, a jumper and then a heart attack, one after another, literally from one call to the next. And they asked us if we were, if we wanted to come out of service and talk and we were fine, you know, we thought, and then we went to the next call, and we were kind of a little wacky, and we got back, and we're like, you know, why were we like that? And I guess it was a response to what we'd seen. Being a firefighter or a soldier, we're the last people that are going to be asking for help, because we're trained to help others, and we think that we're supposed to be helping others. We're not supposed to be asking for help. So I think that's one of the biggest barriers, personally, like just in the personality traits that we have as first responders. It's a barrier to help, because we're always trying to help others instead of kind of taking care of ourselves.
You guys were awesome. Thank you. Giving us insight into this. SickNotWeak.com. We're here 24 hours a day, 364 days a year. You may be thinking, why 364? The first one I did. This is 1,500 of these ago. I just thought it was cooler than saying 365.
We still got you by one.
Shut up.